everyone, it's Miss Noah here, a grade 4 teacher from Accra, Ghana. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you have already subscribed or you've seen my video anywhere before, I hail you. Now in today's video, we are going to look at how I effectively use Zoom to teach my online lessons. Now school is still in session for me, so I use Zoom every now and then to teach my lessons, and I approach my Zoom lesson like I would if I was in a conventional face-to-face classroom. So we're going to look at how I use it to teach my lessons in a smooth way with no hiccups whatsoever. So the first thing I do is to enable the waiting room. I do that because I want to check their punctuality. So when the link is given to them and they follow the link, I want to know the number of people that are ready for the lesson, so that when the time is up for the lesson, they are settled to some extent. So let's go to the Zoom app so that I show you how I do that. Now, if you don't have the Zoom app on your phone or on your laptop, you need to get it installed on it. For the phone, you can get it in the Google Play Store. For your laptop, you can just open your browser, type Zoom, download it for your operating system, Windows, Mac, or whatever operating system you're using. Then you install it. So when you install it and you open, this is what you see, okay? You can create a new meeting, join in, schedule, or you share your screen. Now, because I already have a recurring ID that I use, I just go to meetings, and what I do is I click on start. When I click on start, it opens the meeting and I'm able to zoom straight into action. When it opens, it takes me to another window. A new window pops up, and what I do is I go down here, I go to these three. There are 4 buttons here, so I click on the last one and I enable waiting room. So when I enable the waiting room, I get to see those who are punctual, those who are there waiting. Another thing I do is I've allowed them to rename themselves, and I mute participants upon entry. Now when I mute participants upon entry, I uncheck this box, so I do not allow them to unmute themselves. So what it means is that they come into the meeting quiet, silent, the place is quiet, because I don't want any background noise to distract the lesson. I only unmute, or I only allow them to unmute themselves if the lesson has progressed to the point where I want lesson flow to be seamless. So I just click on continue. So what happens is that whatever we are doing, they are silent. They use gestures. So I've trained them to use gestures, and I also make it mandatory for their videos to be on. So I get to see their faces, I get to see the gestures they are making, I get to see if they do not understand anything or they need further clarification on certain things. Another thing I do is I set rules. I make sure that there are rules in my class. I treat the class like I would if we were in a traditional or conventional classroom setting. So I set the rules, I make sure that they follow the rules. I let them know that if you misbehave, I'll take you out of the classroom, just so that they are on their toes and we can interact and have a smooth lesson. So muting participants upon entry helps you to effectively control your class. There's effective classroom control because there is no noise. You manipulate how things go, and when things have progressed to the point where you feel that you can give them the opportunity to mute and unmute themselves, you do that. There's less noise. Make them use gestures. Teach them how to raise their hands, how to send chats. When they do that, it helps your lesson to flow seamlessly. Now you've enabled the chat room, you've muted your participants, you've also set the rules. What next? Now when I let my learners into the class, my virtual class, I settle them for some time before I zoom into my lesson. So sometimes I like to settle them with a video, sometimes you have a little chit-chat session just to make sure that they are well prepared and they are ready. I check on their writing material, the things that they need. So sometimes when I let them in, some of them have things that they've not yet brought to the class. I give them the opportunity to do that. We are timed, so I let them do that quickly before we start the lesson. Now for your lessons to flow seamlessly, you need to prepare beforehand. You will look funny or you will look ill prepared if you go to class and you're expecting to fall on experience to help your lesson go smoothly. Please prepare before you enter the class. So I like to prepare my slides. If I have a video that I want to show to them, if I have a picture that I want them to look at, I already prepared them, put them in a folder, open the folder ready to be shared when the time comes. When you do that, your lesson will flow smoothly, and also you'll be able to effectively maximize the time that you have. Because if you have to now reach for things, you have to now go look for stuff, it also delays you and you're not able to use your time wisely. I have all my lessons labeled. I have teaching aids, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7. I also have things that I want to do with them. I make sure that I prepare them beforehand. Let me open a sample. You know, I have all these ready. So if it's a PowerPoint document, it's already prepared beforehand. If it's pictures or a video, it's already prepared beforehand, and then I zoom straight into action. Another thing is I like to open them before I even go to Zoom, so that when I start screen sharing, Zoom automatically picks them up. Now, whatever lesson you have prepared for them, you share your screen and then you do that. If you have a video, if you have a slide, if you have a Word document, you just share your screen and then you move straight into action, depending on when you want to show these things in your lesson. Now, to share your screen, you just go to the share screen option, and whatever you want to share, if you are going to write on a whiteboard, if you're sharing your phone, a picture, whatever you want to share, it's here. But make sure you open it before you start Zoom, so that when you want to share, it's already available for you to share. So I'm going to share with you a slide. Click on share and it automatically opens. Now, if you've not seen my video on how I prepare my slides, please, I'll give you a link and you can click on that to view my video. So the first thing I do when I get to my screen sharing and I want to share is that I go to more, and when I click on more, I disable participant annotation. Now, I do that if I am the one going to do most of the writing or all the writing. Sometimes when my learners are not doing any writing, they mistakenly annotate and it makes my screen clumsy, so I disable that and I only enable it if learners are also going to do some writing. Now, I use a graphics tablet, so it makes my writing easier for me, but you can also use a mouse. Now, one thing I also do is I do not use Zoom to annotate or write or highlight. I'll tell you why. If I annotate using Zoom, for example, and I write on the screen using the Zoom app, when I move to the next slide, whatever I've written on my first slide moves with me, and I don't like it. Sometimes I just want to highlight something on a particular slide, so I do not like to use the Zoom annotation app. So you see, it's here and I don't like it. So then let me just clear that and I'll show you how you can annotate without having that problem. So to annotate using PowerPoint or Word, you can do, this option is also available for Word. You just go to Review. Now when you go to Review, then you click on Start Inking. Now when you click on Start Inking, you're going to get options for pens. You can again highlight a highlighter, here, an eraser, and there are options for you. You can change the color of the pen, the thickness of the pen, or the color or thickness of the highlighter. And when you write in a particular slide using the pen option in PowerPoint or Word, that the inking stays on the particular slide. It doesn't move to the next slide. So let's see an example. So for example, I'm writing, so I just write whatever here. Now when I move to the next slide, you see, it gives me a clean sheet to write on. So if I am working on a new page or a blank document and I write on it on the PowerPoint and I want to move to another slide, I can move without having to transfer or without having a transfer of whatever document I'm writing onto it. And it makes it easy for you. So in short, you can use PowerPoint or Word document as a whiteboard. Because if you're using Zoom as your whiteboard, if you write on a particular space, if you move up, the annotation moves with you. But if you're using Zoom, if you're using PowerPoint or a Word document, you can do multiple slides and the annotation doesn't move with it. So just have the mindset that you are in a conventional face-to-face classroom. The only difference here is you're doing it online and not in the classroom. But treat your Zoom lessons like you would if you were in a classroom. Engage your learners. Make sure your lesson is interesting and fun. You can add games, you can ask questions, quizzes, show videos, pictures, something that will keep them focused throughout the lesson. Depending on the level of your learners, if you do not engage them, you realize that they will not be paying attention when the lesson is on course. So make sure that you are engaging them and you are making very good use of the time that you have. So how you end your lessons is also very, very important. Sometimes I end with a video just to give them some excitement as they get out of my classroom, and sometimes we end with a chit chat session. Just make sure that you've utilized the time that you spent with them very, very well with your lesson, then you can end properly. Sometimes when I'm beginning the lesson, I also begin with a video just to whip up some excitement in the classroom. It keeps the energy in the classroom and the lesson moves just as I want it to. Teaching is fun, so make sure you're also bringing some energy to the lesson to make sure that your learners are fully engaged and they're eager and excited to be in your class. Also drop your comments. Let me know some of the apps you are using to engage your learners online. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Like, share, comment. Till I come your way with another video next time, it's bye bye from Miss Lumu.